Joining me now with reaction, Ben Shapiro, editor-in-chief at dailywire.com and editor-at-large for Breitbart News, and Nomiki Konst, founder and executive director of the Accountability Project. All right, so at the beginning, I just want to separate, for the purposes of this discussion, what's happening at the University of Missouri on the race front, which is very charged, and you can understand some upset over what's happened with the race issues. Separate that for today from call the cops on this campus if someone hurts your feelings. If someone hurts your feelings, and that woman at Yale yelling at the professor for saying, I think Halloween costumes should be allowed and we shouldn't be censoring them. How do you sleep at night? I'm going to leave. Good, go. I mean, I look at that. You tell me, Nomiki, because you're going to defend these people. I look at that and say, I can't wait for my kids to get out there in the world against these people. I can't wait. Well, they're going to kick some. That's my reaction. Am I wrong?
Well, okay, to be fair, these are not administration, these are students. These are 20-year-olds who are reacting, and it's a very racially charged environment. You know, words matter. And so when that letter was sent on behalf of an administration official, somebody who's supposed to represent the students, to create, you look at the documents that Yale sends out, the application documents, and it's all about having an inclusive community.
This guy was defending Halloween.
Well, he wasn't defending Halloween. He was defending being offensive to a community of people that are being marginalized. I mean, 7% of the Yale...
He was saying if you want to go as Tatiana, the frog princess, you should be allowed to.
No. He was acknowledging that someone who shows up in blackface, it's okay, it's a joke.
And you think that should be banned? You should, Halloween, that should be banned. And what if you want a guy who wants to dress like a girl? Should he be banned?
Listen, there are the stereotypes. There's plenty of stereotypes that we have changed over time. Things that would now be totally unacceptable. We had this debate about things
gender expression would be offensive if you want. So a guy dressed up as a female nurse.
That's not for white people to determine. That's not. These things are not for the people who are doing it to determine. It is for those who feel hurt. If you feel hurt,
that's fantastic. I hope you have young kids like just exactly my kid's age. Ben, you take it. I understand the offense. I understand you go to the race place and all that, what happened with the swastika. But you can't wear the Halloween costume you want unless no one finds it offensive.
Well, now the selectively offended get to run the rest of the country. I mean, this is what we are creating. We are creating a society of panty-waist fascists. What we are creating is a group of people who are oversensitive to everything and then are willing to call the cops as soon as they are offended. It's actually incredible, and it's a violation of the First Amendment, which you saw with a professor from the Mass Communications Department at Missouri telling reporters that they have no right to be there, and at Yale you have students shouting people down. If this is the climate that we're supposed to create, if this is supposed to create openness and tolerance on the campus, I'm missing the openness and tolerance in let's call the police if I'm mildly offended because my feelings have been hurt. I mean, this is creating a country of crazy people. How can you watch this and not go crazy and think that everyone who's involved in it is crazy in the first place?
How about that woman from the communications department, Nomiki?
Listen,
shutting down the student reporters from filming the protests she was promoting. Guess how you promote them? Put them on
TV. I do agree with that, and I think that Josh Earnest has said the same thing. There's a very thick line between being politically incorrect and being racist, and words matter. So when a community of people that has been perpetually marginalized at institutions across America over history feels offended, we should acknowledge that. And I think that these protests are a reflection of a community of minorities that feel unacknowledged and not respected. And so, Ben, I read your article today, and I was shocked by the language you used. You were saying that it's time for the right to fight. Yeah. No, but you read his column.
Evidence. All this is screaming and feelings. How about like a shred of evidence, even for the incidents that actually happened at Missouri that drove this? Really? Where was the police report exactly when it came to, for example, the first N-word incident that led all of this? There was no police report on any of that. In the second incident at the N-word at the University of Missouri, the administration investigated, and the kid's under investigation. In the third incident with the cop car,
let me just ask you this, because we're short on time. You tell me, Nomiki, whether we are training these kids to be little cupcakes who never have to encounter anything offensive. Assuming everything you said is offensive, they never have to encounter it because they can call the cops or they can get their administrators fired, or whether it's better to educate them that there are offensive things in life, there are insulting things in life, there are people who will say very incorrect or impolite things about you, politically incorrect things about you, very publicly and in a way that you might feel very offended by, and you have to deal with that in life.
I think people understand that, but I think that, you know, this is a blame the victim situation. We should be ridding the world of bigotry, which we talking about that rather than blaming it on the victim who feels hurt, disrespected on campus, who doesn't feel heard by their administrators.
I love that utopia. It doesn't exist. It's not realistic. It does not exist. Good luck getting rid of all the bigotry.
The victim.
Well, we can
all the
look at
bigotry.
it.
We're just going to wipe the world. We'd love to,
progress.
but it's not reality.
They
I gotta
literally
go.
just fired a white guy for being a white guy, and he's the victim.
Okay, I got to go.
not true.
Great debate. Thank you both for being here.